Never fear of missing out by clicking that subscribe button and becoming another member of the Babylonian family. I'll be honest, I was trying to think of something witty between Icarus and Ultimate Anomaly Surge, and I can't tie the two together. So this is the intro. Babylon is now partnered with Raffled Up, the one-stop shop to have the chance at scoring yourself some great tech at a low price. Raffled Up has made over 1,800 people happy with their competitions, ranging from store credit, GPUs, VR sets, and even full-on PC rigs to take your game into the next level. Keep your eye out for mega bundle competitions too for your chance to win several £1,000s worth of gear, all for less than the cost of a chippy. If you fancy your chances, make sure to use our partner code in the description below and save yourself some money while also supporting us as a channel. Best of luck and enjoy the content. Anyway, Babylonians, let's get back on track. My name is Songs of Rays and welcome back to another legendary guide, and today we are looking at the Icarus automatic sniper rifle. Now, what makes this special, apart from how it looks, is the tier 3 mod of Ultimate Anomaly Surge, where critical shots spawn an anomaly energy blast that deals 80,771 damage in a 2-meter radius, and this refreshes every single second. Now, because I wanted to show off the gun in its majority, I tied this with Ultimate Toxic Bullets, where shots inflict toxic on enemies for every single second. Now, the reason I did this is, one, because I wanted to keep my downtime low, so obviously no need to reload, because my toxic lead will obviously keep my magazine topped up, and also obviously as a technomancer you do increase damage to toxic inflicted enemies. So I just wanted to show partly a build, but obviously didn't want to go too far in depth with the Dark Sacrifice and Killing Spree, as per is the normal with most of my legendary guides. Now, looking at the gun, it rolls with crit damage, healing received, and long range damage. Now, 2 of those is brilliant because obviously this is a sniper rifle, crit damage being a nice 30% and long range damage being a nice 10%, obviously when it's been ranked up. The other stats that it comes with, this is a fully automatic variant of a sniper rifle, so that means as long as you hold down the trigger you will be constantly dealing out those bullets. The clip size is a nice 36, the rounds per minute is only 400, so it's kind of slow. Don't expect like assault rifle kind of levels of firepower that's put out. The damage is a nice 3,502, and this is a 80,000 firepower kind of variant, and the reload is very quick at 1.2 seconds, especially for a sniper rifle, and the crit multiplier is a very nice 200%. Now, the idea with this gun, I feel, and this is just from my limited playtime, just to be able to get the gameplay that's in the background, you want to, in terms of mods, you want to pair this with something that takes into account that crit multiplier. I do feel like that is the main part of this. The only reason why is because the damage is kind of on the low side for a sniper rifle, and is around about in line with that of a fully automatic assault rifle. Now, the main advantage to this is you get a scope, and the bullets are a little bit more accurate, so you don't exactly have as much trouble to be able to aim at range to be able to deal with those targets that are a little bit further away. Obviously, it does make it a little bit more difficult for anything that comes up close, but you can always have a separate weapon that just deals with those kind of enemies. So I would recommend in this case, Embalmer's Rage is a great place to start. Now, obviously, the 200% crit multiplier is more than Dark Sacrifice and Killing Spree can offer to you. If you are more accurate though, and you are kind of like doing those chem plants and those more humanoid kind of enemies, so it's more obvious where those crit points are, then Dark Sacrifice and Killing Spree will always be your best friends in those kind of scenarios. If you are doing like the beasts, then I would suggest in that case Embalmer's Rage, just because it makes it a little bit easier for yourself, and that way you don't have to micromanage and try and figure out where every single little crit point is for every single enemy. How does this gun stack up against every other kind of guide that we've done so far? Well, I was genuinely surprised as to the ease of use of this gun. Obviously, with sniper rifles, they're very hit and miss. You've seen in previous guides that the accuracy can be a bit more to be desired. They are quite difficult to be able to hit follow-up shots, and I think the fully automatic side of this actually does massively help in that kind of aspect. The idea to be able to hold down your trigger and then just micromanage your mouse or your analog stick if you're using controllers for obviously the consoles, it just helps you to be able to find those crit spots. And obviously critical shots are your main bread and butter for this gun, because the tier 3 mod only activates off of a critical shot. Now, obviously if it's Embalmer's Rage and you do get that first kill, then every single shot after that, as long as it's after 1 second, and obviously the cooldown for the mod's obviously procced, then you are able to activate another one of that Ultimate Anomaly Surge. So that's why when it comes to mod choices, I do feel like Embalmer's Rage is easier to use, but is not necessarily more DPS oriented, whereas Dark Sacrifice and Killing Spree obviously will increase the standard damage of your gun, and then you'll apply the 200% crit multiplier on top of that, rather than just for having that straight 200% damage bonus. The Icarus definitely wasn't a bad gun for me to be able to use. As a firepower kind of techno build, it definitely kind of did the job. The tier 3 mod was a nice little burst of DPS. The 2 meter radius is pitiful. It's almost pointless actually having that even there, unless you're just going to use it as like a single target DPS, and then hopefully if you get lucky and some other enemy walks by, they can be affected as well. This is basically almost as if a slightly, and I do mean slightly, pumped up version of the Thunderbird's tier 3 mod, where lightning happens onto a single target. I think it has like about a 3k increase in damage, and obviously then has the splash radius. So at the very least, it's better than the Thunderbird, just purely based on the tier 3 mod. Is it better and more easy to use as a sniper rifle that's got long range damage and obviously has the sniper scope? I think that kind of depends on the class you're playing as. If you're going as a Technomancer, you do want that long range damage, and obviously the Icarus can give that to you and has the functionality to be able to do so. And then every other class that feels like it runs like an assault rifle, obviously the Thunderbird would be better in that kind of aspect. So what could be done to bring the Icarus back up to the higher kind of tier of play? Well, I do feel like the 80k damage that it offers on a critical shot is very low, and especially that 2 meter radius is definitely on the low side. I would like to see either one of those bumped up. If they were going to go for something that actually has an explosion radius, I would like to actually see that radius maybe bumped up to 5 at the very least. If not, then maybe more. And if they choose to keep it at 2 meters, then I would like to see it have like more of a focused damage in that kind of sense, similar to like how the scrap grenade can go off and does like over 250k damage. Why does this one only do 80 in the comparison to that? So either of those I feel would be viable buffs, or they could just change the mod altogether and we could see something really, really funky, similar to like how the body snatcher's got something unique, something along those lines. It'll be quite fun just to see something that can just unique to this gun, or maybe something that falls in line with the actual name of the gun. It's safe to say the Icarus will not be breaking into the meta anytime soon, but that doesn't mean it's a bad gun. It definitely can be used, it definitely can be exploitable for maybe mid-tier kind of expeditions, so say from 7 to 11 maybe is probably a safe bet. Obviously, if your build is pretty good and you're designed for long range damage, similar to like a Technomancer, and you're able to inflict that toxic and just keep that going, then maybe you'll be able to push it to 12 and 13. But if you're pushing for a 14 and a 15, I do think it's a little bit out of its kind of range, its comfort zone. It's not to say that it can't be done. I just feel like if for the majority of players that are out there that don't have the time to dedicate to grinding, and they're not interested in making like a dead set meta build or anything like that, the gun will not carry you through it. It will be a combination of your build as well. And that pretty much wraps up all that the Icarus can really offer to us. I hope you've enjoyed the gameplay that's in the background. I hope you've enjoyed my kind of dissection of the gun and what I feel it could be needed to be able to bring it up just a little tier, just to be able to make it more competitive and just try and bring it in line with some of the guns, because let's be honest, most of the legendaries in this are very unbalanced. We've got some that are dedicated to like top tier, and we've got some that are absolute trash tier, and we've got everything that's in between. So I get it, legendaries, they're hard to come across, and their tier 3 mods in the majority are pretty damn good, but I'd like to see some kind of like bridging the gap, so it's not so far out so that purples and blues can actually overtake some of the legendaries, and I feel like the community would probably support me in that kind of sense. As always, if you've enjoyed the content that I've brought to you in this video, drop us a like and a subscribe. It would mean the world to us. We are pushing for that 200 limit, and obviously if we can break that 200 limit, then we will be offering some kind of giveaway to you. Now, details are a bit scarce at the moment, but it is definitely on the horizon. I will be talking to Dan and Ben to be able to bring something like that to you, all of you loyal Babylonians that have been enjoying the content and obviously making us grow as a channel. As always, keep yourself safe, keep yourself well, and I shall see you on that next video.